Have you ever wondered why Rodrigo Duterte is so important to China? A query that on the surface may seem straightforward, but as we delve deeper, we find it's anything but. What is it about Duterte, the firebrand president of the Philippines, that makes him such a pivotal figure in the eyes of the Middle Kingdom? Is it his unorthodox leadership style, often making headlines around the globe? Or could it be his strategic geographical position in Southeast Asia that China finds so appealing? Perhaps it's his willingness to challenge the status quo, to unsettle the balance of power in the Pacific. And what about China's political climate? How does Duterte's presence on the international stage influence Beijing's strategies and decisions? But wait, there's more. There's always more when it comes to politics and international relations. So, buckle up for a journey into the complex dynamics of Duterte's relationship with China. Stay tuned as we unravel the deep ties between Duterte and China. Who is Rodrigo Duterte and why does he pique China's interest? Let's dive right in. Rodrigo Duterte, the man at the helm of the Philippines since June of 2016, is quite a character. His political career spans over 3 decades and has been peppered with controversy and unconventional methods. Duterte's policies, particularly his war on drugs, have been both lauded and criticized. Yet it is his foreign policy, specifically towards China, that has truly piqued international interest. Duterte's decision to pivot away from the Philippines' long-standing ally, the United States, and towards China came as a shock to many. This shift has not been without its share of controversy. However, Duterte has remained steadfast, arguing that aligning with China is in the best interest of the Philippines. Under Duterte's leadership, the Philippines has seen a surge in Chinese investments, contributing to the country's economic growth. Yet, this has also led to an increased Chinese influence in the country, raising concerns among some Filipinos and international observers. While Duterte's approach to foreign policy has been unconventional, it has undeniably shaped the trajectory of the Philippines' relationship with China. The pivot towards China has resulted in economic gains, but it has also increased tensions in the South China Sea and strained relations with the United States. Despite the controversies, Duterte's approach has seen some success. Chinese tourism in the Philippines has boomed, and China has become one of the country's top trading partners. Duterte's gamble in courting Beijing may have been a risky move, but it has undeniably had a significant impact on the Philippines' economy and its standing on the global stage. In the grand scheme of things, Duterte's role in shaping the Philippines' relationship with China is indeed significant. His unconventional approach to foreign policy and his ability to navigate the complex geopolitical landscape have not only changed the course of the Philippines' foreign relations, but have also made him a figure of interest in the eyes of China. Duterte's role in shaping the Philippines' relationship with China is indeed significant. So why does China value Duterte's leadership? Good question. Let's delve into it. To begin, we need to understand China's geopolitical interests in the region. The South China Sea, a highly disputed area with rich resources and crucial shipping lanes, is a prime focus for China. Duterte's foreign policy shift from traditional alliances towards a more China-friendly stance plays into China's ambitions here. This shift, known as the Duterte pivot, is a significant departure from previous Philippine administrations that had a more adversarial stance towards China regarding the South China Sea disputes. Furthermore, Duterte's independent foreign policy aligns well with China's goal to assert itself as a leading regional power. By fostering closer ties with the Philippines, China is not only gaining a strategic ally, but also reducing the influence of other powers in the region, such as the United States. This strategic alignment is further cemented by Duterte's open embrace of China's Belt and Road Initiative, a massive infrastructure project aimed at boosting China's global influence. On a more practical level, China benefits economically from its relationship with Duterte. Under his administration, the Philippines has seen a surge in Chinese investments and tourism. These economic ties not only enrich China, but also serve as a tool of soft power, increasing its influence over the Philippines. But it's not all about economics and geopolitics. There's also a shared understanding between Duterte and China's leadership. Both are known for their strongman leadership styles and their willingness to challenge Western norms and institutions. This shared worldview has helped to foster a sense of mutual respect and understanding, further strengthening their ties. In conclusion, China's interest in Duterte is rooted in their strategic objectives in the region. The alignment of Duterte's policies with China's goals, the economic benefits they gain, and the shared understanding between their leaders all contribute to this interest. So it seems China values Duterte not just for who he is, but for what he represents in the larger geopolitical landscape. But is this relationship without its critics and controversies, one might ask? Indeed, it wouldn't be politics if it didn't involve a fair bit of criticism and controversy. The relationship between Rodrigo Duterte and China has been the subject of intense scrutiny. On one hand, it's seen as a pragmatic move, a strategic alliance that benefits both nations economically. However, on the other hand, it's viewed with skepticism and concern by those who fear it could compromise the Philippines' sovereignty. One of the primary criticisms revolves around the South China Sea dispute. This contentious issue has been a thorn in the side of Sino-Philippine relations for years. Critics argue that Duterte's friendly stance towards China could undermine the Philippines' territorial claims in the region. They fear that the economic benefits might come at the cost of territorial concessions, potentially weakening the nation's sovereignty. Furthermore, human rights have been a significant point of contention. Duterte's infamous war on drugs has drawn international condemnation, with allegations of extrajudicial killings and human rights abuses. Critics argue that China's support of Duterte, despite these allegations, could be seen as an endorsement of such practices. There's also the question of economic dependency. With the Philippines receiving large amounts of Chinese investment and aid, there's a concern that the nation could become overly reliant on China. This could potentially leave the Philippines vulnerable to economic manipulation and influence. Moreover, the transparency of these deals has been questioned. Critics argue that many agreements between Duterte and China are shrouded in secrecy, which could potentially hide unfavorable terms or even corruption. In essence, the relationship between Duterte and China is a complex and multifaceted one. It's a balancing act between economic gain and potential risks to sovereignty and human rights. And while it's clear that there are tangible benefits to this alliance, it's equally clear that there are valid concerns and criticisms to consider. The Duterte-China relationship is not without its share of disputes and disagreements. Indeed, like any relationship, it's far from perfect and continues to be a subject of heated debate. What does the future hold for Duterte, the Philippines, and China? With Duterte's term coming to an end, it's a question that's been hovering around the globe. The relationship he's nurtured with China has certainly shifted the balance of power in Southeast Asia. But what happens next? Could this be the dawn of a new era of cooperation between the Philippines and China? Or will this alliance prove to be a flash in the pan, fading away as quickly as it flared up? And what about the potential impacts on regional politics and international relations? As China continues to flex its muscles on the global stage, the Philippines under Duterte's influence could serve as a critical ally, or perhaps a strategic pawn. The potential implications are vast, complex, and far-reaching, affecting not just these two nations, but the entire Pacific region and beyond. Only time will tell what the future holds for Duterte, the Philippines, and China. So why is Rodrigo Duterte so important to China? We've journeyed through the Duterte effect, his unique connection to China, the criticisms and controversies that have followed, and the future implications of his actions. We've uncovered how Duterte has shaped the Philippines-China relationship with his distinctive political approach, aligning his country more closely with the Asian giant, despite international criticism. His willingness to set aside territorial disputes in the South China Sea in favor of economic cooperation has been a game changer. He's not just a president, but a catalyst for a geopolitical shift in Southeast Asia. The controversies, they've been numerous and contentious, but Duterte has stood firm, maintaining his stance and vision for the Philippines and the future. It's uncertain as the balance of power continues to shift, but one thing is clear. Duterte's influence on China's strategic interests in the region is undeniable. Duterte's influence on China's strategic interests in the region is undeniable. Subscribe for more intriguing content and keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.